All right. So how you doing, sister?
Good, how are you
I
doing?
see you came back. I'm good. I see you came back.
I did.
So you
I
come.
kept my word.
All right. So you got any questions?
Um, no, not right now.
Not right now.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, then let me get this. Let me get this.
Okay.
She didn't have any questions. Let me get Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we were my brother wanted me to start breaking down how what is the sign at about how we're the people
Okay.
on this sign, right? So you want to I want to get pull up Deuteronomy 28 for me, right? Because we're in the we're of the school of thought that the Bible is talking about our history, right? Our lineage, right? We're descendants from those people, right? You got it?
I
You
got
got
it.
it?
28:16.
No. Start. So give me one.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. So he's saying. So Moses is telling our ancestors that if we follow the laws of God, if we follow our culture, that the Most High will set us on high above all nations of the earth. Right. So like there's going to be a racial hierarchy, and we're going to be at the top of it. Right. And everything's going to come down from us. Right.
Okay.
Go to 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments, and have statutes which I command, and his statutes which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All right, so and now it's saying the opposite, right? If we don't follow the culture, we're going to be cursed as a people, right? Let me get 45. Right, it's saying we're going to be cursed as a people because we don't follow our culture, and you can see just throughout history, and it's not just with us. When you look at other civilizations that start straying away from their culture, they wound up being destroyed, right? Or just they're like their society plummets, falls into chaos, they get conquered by some other people, right? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
Right, so they're going to come upon us. They're going to pursue us, because you know how you see our brothers and sisters. They'll marry someone outside of our nation, leave the hood, trying to escape the madness that surrounds us, right? Yeah. But no matter where we go, it says these curses are going to follow us, right? We still get called. No matter where we go, we still gonna get called niggas. We still gonna get called Mexican, wetbacks, spics, whatever. All this stuff is gonna follow us everywhere we go, right? Because this is how these other nations look at us. Keep going.
Yeah.
Till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Right, so all this stuff because we didn't listen to God. We didn't keep our culture that was given to us. Right, a lot of our people tend to be enamored, amazed with cultures of other people, other nations. Right, and that in itself causes our downfall, because with us following after their nation, after their cultures and their doings, we get away from ours. Right. Let me pull up. What is that? 2 Maccabees 4:15. Right. So we get away from our culture. Read the next one.
28 verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Right. So it's going to be upon us for a sign and for a wonder. Let me get Jeremiah 17:4. And behold 28 though. So it's going to be upon us for a sign and for a wonder. Right, and it's not just going to be on us; it's going to be on our children and their children and their children, and so on and so on and so on. right? Because we're not teaching our children to follow our customs, to follow our heritage, right? You got it? Yep.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine inheritance that I gave thee.
Right, so we're going to discontinue from the inheritance that he gave us, the culture that he gave us, right? Right, and part of that heritage, part of that culture, part of that inheritance is knowing who we are as Israelites, right? So part of the curses is us not knowing who we are, right? So, but it said that the curses were going to be on us to identify who we are as a people, right? So keep going, read that out.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Right, so us not following these laws, statutes, and commandments, us not following our culture, has upset our God, right? Because it's. I'm sorry. Do you have any children, any younger brothers and sisters that you look after?
No children, but I do have two brothers.
Two brothers, right? It's like when you give them advice, right? And it's sound, and they listen to it, and they're like, yeah, but then they turn around and
do something else.
And do something opposite. It's upsetting.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with our God.
Yeah.
He gave us this playbook on how to literally rule the world.
Okay.
And we didn't follow it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You got that? It's 4 and 4. It's like 4 and 15. Right? Yeah. So we didn't follow the rules that God gave to us. Right? You got that? Yeah.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Right. So that's where we were. So even with us knowing who we were, like I said, we were so enamored with these other cultures that we stopped worrying about what we should have been doing, what our forefathers was doing, what our forefathers taught to us, but we started following after those other nations, right? And specifically the white people, right? Go ahead and finish it out.
Verse 16. By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them.
Right, so sore calamity came on. Because we stopped following our culture and we started following after these white people or whatever other nation is put in front of us, sore calamity comes on. We get in troublous times, right? Peril, right? Go ahead.
For they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose custom they followed so earnestly.
Right, so because we follow their customs, because we follow after them, they become our enemies. But then we look to them to be our avengers, to help, and that doesn't make sense, right? Like the same people that have been beating us up, whipping our backs, taking our children, putting us through all types of hell. We're looking for them, to those same people, for help, right?
Right.
Right, and that's all due to the fact that we stopped following our culture, right? So, but with us not knowing who we are, because it says that we were going to forget. It says the curses will be a sign on us as to identify who these people are, because when you look at what's going on in the world, you can read any like a handful of these laws that were given to us, and you can see that a lot of people throughout the world are just not following.
That's true.
So there should be some nation of people that are going through these curses, right? So read 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right, so it says the Lord's going to bring you into Egypt again. So you know about the story of Moses?
A little bit.
Right? So you know why Moses had to go up to Pharaoh and say, let my people go?
Yep.
Why did he do that?
He was following God's command, right?
Uh-huh. But what did they have to be let go from? What did the children of Israel have to be let go from?
I want to say not bondage, right?
It was bondage.
Oh, okay.
Right? You know what? You got any other names for bondage?
Like maybe imprisonment. Maybe?
Imprisonment. Any other euphemisms?
Maybe. So we got bondage, imprisonment. I want to say like a trap, maybe. Like
trap. Okay. How about slavery? Would slavery be a good one?
Yeah, slavery.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we say Egypt, we can use bondage, imprisonment, slavery. You said entrapment.
Yep.
Right. So go ahead, read that again.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right. So bondage, slavery, entrapment again.
Yeah.
With ships.
Right. With ships.
Yeah.
With ships. What does that sound like?
Like, kind of like all of that maybe in one. Just kind of like a big.
It's saying that these people will be going into slavery, into bondage, by way of ships.
Oh, like a boat.
Like a boat, yeah.
Okay,
Does that sound familiar?
Yes, it's starting to sound familiar. It's
Like,
been a while. But
What is that sounding like?
Like they're gonna be taken away, maybe, right? Like they're gonna be sailed away, and the bondage and the entrapment and everything.
Can you think of anything? Can you think of any events in history where that happened? You get a whole nation of people get put on boats and brought into slavery.
So let's see, because I know, like I did a lot of reading on this too. It just can't come to mind right now, but I do know that yes, there's somewhere in history where that sounds like that happened when they were in boats, kind of getting, you know, like taken away from somewhere that they don't to somewhere that they don't want to go. Basically.
Maybe like the west coast of Africa.
Yeah, that too.
Brought over here to the Americans.
The Americans, yeah.
Or how about from the Americas back to taken to Europe?
Right.
The transatlantic slave trade.
Wouldn't that be like deportation though? Like whoever, like if they came to like from their country from somewhere else, and then they get sent back, is it not the same thing?
Well, I mean, did we get sent back?
No, we didn't.
No. Did the Latinos who were taken, the Native Americans and the Latinos that were taken from over here, brought over to Europe, did they get sent back? No. Right? Keep going. Read that. Keep reading. So it says you're going to get put on a ship and brought into slavery.
Okay.
Right? You got it?
Yep. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Right. So it says when you get off those boats, you're going to be sold to your enemies. Right?
That's horrible. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when we got off the boats, we were sold.
Right.
We were sold, right?
Right. Yeah.
Who were we sold to?
Anyone that's not, basically like not our nation, right?
Well, so these auction blocks, right? When we were on auction blocks, who did we get sold to? Stolen from Africa,
right?
Brought to America, sold to
the white people.
The white people, right? Read that part again.
Yep. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So we're going to be sold to our enemies. You agree that we were sold to white people?
Yeah.
So would it be safe to say that white people are our enemies?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
For bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you.
And nobody's going to come and get us. No one's going to buy us. No one's going to pay our debt that we put ourselves into get into this situation. So that's just part of it of the things that we use to identify who we are as these people. Because the transatlantic slave trade is a big thing.
Right.
Precept.
You got something? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 43 verse 22. Verse 22 in the NLT. Because he is righteous, the Lord has exalted his glorious. Isaiah 43 verse 22 in the NLT. Isaiah 42 verse 22. But his in the NLT. But his own people have been robbed and plundered.
All right, so it says we've been robbed and plundered. Not only have we been robbed and plundered financially, right, spiritually, but we've literally been robbed.
Right.
They took us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Enslaved, imprisoned, and trapped.
We just agreed, right?
Yeah.
Enslaved, imprisoned, trapped,
Yeah.
right?
They are fair game for anyone.
Right? Fair game for anyone. Right? I've been saying this lately that the difference between us and these other nations is that every other nation of people happens to America, but America happens to us. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? America happens to us. Read that last bit again.
They are fair game for anyone and have no one to protect them.
Fair game for everybody. Any and everybody. They all come here, and no one's here to protect us. No one's trying to. Keep going. It should say it. Keep going.
No one to take them back home.
No one to take them back home. Right? In the King James, it says no one wants to restore us. Right? Even if they didn't want to take us back home, no one's trying to prop us back up to the position that we were. Right? Do you agree when we say we were kings? Yeah. You look at all the works that our native brothers, our Latino brothers did in this country. They need to be restored too, but no one cares. Right? If you want to, there's this unspoken rule that if you want to make it in America, you have to oppress us. Right? Go ahead.
Exodus 21 verse 21 verse 16. And he that selleth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand.
Man, what is going on here? This is madness, man. What's going on? Sister, did you catch that? I know it was distracting. Did you catch it? Yeah, you can read it again. Yeah, read it again.
Exodus chapter 21 verse 16. And he that selleth a man and selleth him.
No, it's still.
And he that stealeth a man.
Right, he that stealeth a man, right? We were stolen, right? Right, we were stolen. Go ahead.
And selleth him.
And if he sells them.
Or if he be found in his hand.
Because we're still found in the hands of the people that kidnapped us, right?
He shall surely be put to death.
Right, they'll be put to death. Nobody, they're not trying to. They're not trying to send us back home. They're not trying to restore us, right? They want us in this situation so we don't become the ruling class of people, right? And it's just that simple. Because as long as we're enamored with these other nations of people, I watch a lot of anime, right? I watch a lot of anime, but it's fun, it's good, but I'm not necessarily trying to be Japanese. It doesn't interest me to learn how to use chopsticks or anything like that, right? I just like anime. But you have a bunch of us who get so enamored with their culture, involved in it, learn Japanese, speaking it, they do all the wearing the kimonos and everything, right? But they're not doing what our forefathers did, what they should be doing, right? What our God taught us to do. Right, so because of that, we get tossed into captivity. We get called these by names on this thing, right? African Americans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Mexicans, right? We get those names placed on us, and that's not something we were calling ourselves when we got off the boats. That's not something he was calling himself when these white people came over here, right? So we just have to. So that's why we identify ourselves as the children of Israel.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And there are lots of other things.
Kajab said go into Christmas.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I see you got the Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Thanksgiving one on the other day, but I threw these on today.
Ooh,
yeah.
that's even worse than Christmas.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Well, my birthday's gonna be on Thanksgiving this year.
Ooh,
So.
Get that. Yeah. So hold on. Let's tackle. Hold on. Wait. Let's tackle Thanksgiving first.
Okay.
Do you know about the celebration of Thanksgiving? Do you know what it's for?
There's another meaning behind it that I had recently learned about. Somebody said something about. I just heard the word pilgrims, and they just went on about it. But growing up, of course, we think it's like a celebration with your family and friends, and you know, everyone's cooking and eating and just having a good time together. But I learned recently that that's not what the original meaning was all about, or something like
So
that.
what did you learn that the original meaning was about? What?
Well, again, they were kind of speaking very fast when they were saying it, but I do know that they said that's the reason why they don't celebrate Thanksgiving anymore, because of the true meaning. So maybe we can kind of, I don't know, discuss that. I don't know, but
So are you looking it up? Is you looking it up?
Cornucopia?
No. Get the how they were killing them when why they started celebrating like the Thanksgiving in America. So what was going on? What was going on was that a bunch of white people, they went up and killed it. I'm not sure which group of
Talking about Abraham Lincoln, right?
no, it was before. It was, I think this was before. Yeah, it was before Abraham. But a group of white people, they went up and massacred some Native Americans.
yeah, that's what.
Yeah, and then they came back and celebrated and had a feast. Right? That's
They celebrated the fact that they had a massacre.
yes.
Wow.
So when you celebrate Thanksgiving, although it goes like the celebration itself is a lot older than that, but like essentially the reason for it in America, you're celebrating the murder of your cousins. As an Israelite, you're celebrating the murder of your cousins.
Well, you know, there's still a lot of people that don't even realize that true meaning of Thanksgiving, right? So how does that work? Like, imagine you go to your family's house and no one is aware that that's the real meaning behind Thanksgiving. Everyone's just there thinking it's a time of fellowship with your family.
Right.
And everyone's eating and having a good time. So imagine someone walked in and it was like, you guys know the real meaning, and then they say that.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be looking around like... So that's why I'm saying, like, it's so awkward because not everybody knows.
Exactly. Because you know, like we just read, we're so enamored with what
That's
they're
what I'm
presenting.
saying.
See,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you ever and not to how old are you?
27. I'll be 28.
28.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen that show Leave It to Beaver?
I think like one time.
Like it's like this old black and white show.
I
Like
think so. Maybe.
yeah,
I'm not sure.
About this,
Maybe.
yeah, about this white family in the suburbs.
Okay,
Yeah. So
okay.
like that thing that they were presenting on that show it had us enamored.
Wow.
You know, you got the dad that works. I mean, granted, it was a different time then, but you know, you had the dad that works, the mom that stayed home, she cooked, cleaned, had the kids. It's a great life,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, nowadays, you know, you need two incomes and all this and
Right.
madness. But I mean, everyone's striving for that one income lifestyle. The kids, everybody's taken care of, right?
Yeah.
That happy family.
Yeah.
They presented that with their faces, and we're enamored by it. They are celebrating Thanksgiving on all these white shows. We want to celebrate it. Christmas, you know, all that, right? You got it?
No, this is all I got right here.
Time magazine. Yeah, I think it's that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, where do you want me to?
Just start from the top.
Okay. Time magazine's the 17th century is having a moment. In 2019, the world observed the 400th anniversary of the arrival of the first enslaved Africans in Virginia. This year marks 400 years since English pilgrims and Wampanoags allegedly sat down to a 3-year feast, 3-day feast in a territory the immigrants called Plymouth. These events has drawn extraordinary public attention, but each only makes sense when seen in the context of a century that defied enduring aspects of American life, especially European colonists' efforts to take possessions of indigenous lands.
Right? So they were trying to take their lands, right? And you know, although the narrative is that the pilgrims came and you know they were taught by the natives how to survive, which is true, but at the same time they had the pilgrims, they had this plot to take over, right? They got anything straight to the point?
I mean, they got this little the picture and then what it is.
Yeah, read that.
Okay, so on Time magazines they have a picture, and below the picture it says, "This engraving depicts depicting a scene from the Pequot War, shows a militia as they attacked and ultimately set fire to an encampment that belonged to the Picos in what became Mystic Con 1637.
Right. So they show that. Right. So they're celebrating that. Came through, killed a bunch of natives.
That's the picture behind it?
And they're celebrating it.
Wow.
Right? It's not about them breaking bread with the natives and being friendly with the natives. They were murdering them.
Yeah.
Right? Since from day one they were murdering them. Right? And that's the whole celebration of Thanksgiving.
The feast.
The feast, yeah, that's the feast of it.
That's
right?
crazy.
Did you got the cornucopia? Right, because you want to, because you know, a lot of the times that these white people, they tend to take things from other cultures, because you know the Most High, our God, didn't give them any kind of heritage to have, right? So they just take and pull from every other nation of people. Right, that's why you see like white Buddhists, white Muslims, and all this madness. They go into other people's countries, other people's nations. They'll put themselves on their history and pretend it was them. Right. For example, like that you know, that white Christ right there is just not who it is. Right. You got something? Did you find it?
I'm looking for it. I got.
Is this originated in Greek?
Yeah. Yeah, just read that.
Okay. The cornucopia, or horn of plenty.
Right. So you know the cornucopia in Thanksgiving, it's got that like this little basket with all the fruits and stuff in it. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, that one, right? How that's a big thing with Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it goes back to it's an ancient thing that they're celebrating too, because it's not only the massacre of the natives, but it also goes back to one of their pagan god, right? You got it?
Same thing.
You can just read that.
So the cornucopia, or horn of plenty, is a symbol of Thanksgiving that originated in Greek and Rome mythology and is associated with abundance, prosperity, and the harvest.
All right, yeah. So on top of them celebrating the massacre of our cousins, our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Gad, they were also worshiping a pagan god. On top of that, right? So it's a terrible thing as Israelites to be celebrating that, because we're worshiping other gods. Then we're like celebrating the death of our brothers and sisters, right? So, what's next? You wanted to let's do. You want?
You mentioned birthday.
Yeah, you want to do? Yeah, let's do the birthday. So we shouldn't be celebrating our birthdays either.
Why not?
Right? You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead. Yeah, read it.
Because it's not our custom. That's
Right.
why. This is Genesis chapter 40, verse 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday.
Right. So this is Pharaoh's birthday. Right, in Genesis, while we're still in captivity. Right, before Moses brought us out, he said it was Pharaoh. Oh yeah, this is Genesis. Yeah, so this is before Moses, right? In Genesis, Pharaoh celebrated his birthday. Right, go ahead.
Which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants.
Right, so he lifted up everybody. We're going to have a big party, right? Because it's his birthday, and you know, rightfully so. You know, he's the king. He does what he wants, right? Okay, yeah. So they were celebrating. So the Pharaoh was celebrating his birthday, right? And one of the things that we were told not to do, right? Go ahead, read this. Watch. You got it. Might be able to. So we were. So while he was while Pharaoh was celebrating his birthday, I'm sure you had many other pharaohs doing the same thing, right? But when we were when we brought out of Egypt, we were told not to do something, right?
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them.
All right, so we're telling our fellow Israelites, we're telling you, every other Black and Latino out here that's going to listen, right?
I am the Lord your God, after the doing of the land of Egypt.
All right, so after the things that they do in the land of Egypt, right? You think we should do it? No, right? Go ahead.
wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doing of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
Right. So after the doings of the land of Egypt, we shouldn't do it. And we just read right here that Pharaoh was celebrating his birthday. Right. Because essentially, what you're doing is you're making yourself an idol. Right, because everybody comes around, worships you, happy birthday, all the cakes, all the focus on you. Right, you ever hear that song that goes like, "It's my party, I cry if I want to. I do what I want on my birthday. Nobody can tell me anything." But that's right. But we shouldn't have that mentality. I shouldn't be able to get away with murder because it's my birthday. If I do something wrong, it's wrong, regardless of what day it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So and so celebrating your birthday, having that mentality, is crazy. I heard there's you got people that celebrate their birthdays for like a week, a month, something. It gets crazy, right? So so that's one of the things. Yeah, so like, huh?
Start doing a countdown.
Yeah, they do countdowns and everything. I mean, making wishes. It's crazy. And I mean, and honestly, like, it's a bit childish in my opinion.
But we were programmed. I mean, since a kid, you have no control over the fact that your parents celebrated you before you could talk. And so it's like, I'm not saying that it's not good to learn it at an older age, but like, it's kind of like, you have a child, like if someone has a child right now in this world, and when they first give birth, and then their first birthday and all that, that child does not have control to say, you know what, this is wrong, I'm not supposed to. They're celebrating their child because they want to, because they think that's how it should be. And so that's why it's like, it's crazy, because from all those years, and then you grow up and learn this, and you're like, you can't take those celebrated years back that your parents decided to throw you a party.
Right.
So it's like, it's just one of those things where I mean, like I said, it's helpful to learn it, but it's like, it does kind of suck if you think about it, because again, you had no control since little. So it's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like getting burned on the stove. Mm-hmm. You can't take it back, but you know better now. Mm-hmm. Right? So like that's just what it is. You got something for it?
I got another one on birthdays.
Right, go ahead.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 in the GNT, and I'm going to start at verse 1. Not long after that, the king sent an elderly Athenian to force the Jews to abandon their religion and the customs of their ancestors.
Right, so we're being forced to do this now, right? Not only are we forced, we're being forced to get rid of our culture, right? It's one thing if that's what you decide, but you're being forced to do this, right?
Verse 7, and this is in the GNT. Each month when the king's birthday was celebrated, the Jews were compelled by brute force to eat the intestines of sacrificial animals.
Right, so he said, not only this is crazy. So not only did he do it once a year, he did it every 15th. Right, every month. On the 50th, so it's the 15th day of the month. It's my birthday. We're celebrating. It's crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah, go ahead.
Then during the festival in honor of the wine god Dionysus, they were required to wear ivy wreaths on their heads and march in procession.
Right. So we're being forced to celebrate birthdays. Right. We've seen it.
And this is your ancestors, our ancestors that's being done to.
Yeah. Right. So which is why we just don't celebrate birthdays. Right. And do you know anything about the Satanic Church?
no, I don't.
You don't know anything about the Satanic Church, right?
That kind of
sure.
Yeah.
Did you know that's their number one holiday?
Birthdays?
Birthdays.
Yep. Oh, of course.
Yeah, exactly. That's their number one holiday. Because like I said, it puts all the focus on you.
Right.
Nobody's giving glory to God.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But again, like you brought up, your parents, they may not know, so they celebrate their children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's simply due to the fact that they don't know. You got something?
Would you want 10 and 34?
For what?
Going against your mother and your father?
No. You got something?
Yeah, this is in the Church of Satan website. Since Satanism is a self-centered religion, the highest holiday of the year would be the Satanist's own birthday.
Right? Your own birthday. The highest. This is the highest day. It's the greatest day for a Satanist. Right? Nobody's caring about God. Nobody's worshiping God. It's all about me.
Wow.
Listen. It's my birthday. Today is about me. I do what I want.
It's selfish, really. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we do have a thing in our culture where we celebrate our children when they begin to eat solid foods. So we celebrate that, and it's kind of like around the first year that they're born, right? So that's kind of a thing. So that's kind of a thing. But outside of that, we don't celebrate birthdays, right? So let me get that Jeremiah.
Sorry, one?
Yeah. So we did the Thanksgiving, we did birthdays. You got something else on birthdays? So we did Thanksgiving, we did birthdays. Now we're going to talk about the Christmas. Right? Okay, go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel.
All right, so he's talking to you, talking to us, talking to Israel, right? Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
All right, not the way of the heathens, right? Because they'll tell you what Christmas, what you're celebrating the the birthday of Christ's birthday, December 25th, right? But it's saying right here, this is the way of the heathen. Keep going.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right. So what we use with the stars, what we use the stars for, is to tell you what time of year it is. If it's you can tell by how, because in the summer it's hot, in the winter it's cold, but we can tell you what month it is, we can tell you the time of year just by simply looking at the stars, right? It was given, that special task was given to our SICARII brothers, right? Our Mexican brothers, right? But it's saying, because when we look up at the sky, we see what time it is, what time of year it is. When they look up at the stars, they think it's some kind of spooky message or something like that, right? But it's telling us not to worry about any of that, because they're going to be freaked out about it, but we shouldn't. Keep going.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Right, so it's a vain custom to cut a tree out of the forest, right? I mean, the Christmas tree, right? Go ahead.
The work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
Right, so you got to decorate the tree, right? I remember I would have fun decorating the tree, putting all the little ornaments and right, have fun doing it. But this is something we shouldn't be doing. Keep going.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Right, so you got to nail it down or put something there so it doesn't fall over. Right? Keep going.
They are upright at the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Right, so they were doing it as idol worship, right? And it wasn't as such as idols are, they can't do any good, they can't do any evil. If anything, the power that idols have is all in your head, right? It's all in your head. The powers that idols have. It's about how much time you give to them, right? Right. All right. So, yeah. So we don't. So Christmas, birthdays, Thanksgiving, right? And this one is specifically singling out Christmas, right? So, do you have any other questions? No? Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna pass it on to the next speaker, right? Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Do so in the name of His only begotten Son, and say Shalom.
Shalom.